Welcome back to the show, everybody. I appreciate you being here. I greatly do. Listen, we have some Bitcoin news today, XRP news today. Listen, I'm still looking at this bank information from what happened the other day. Apparently, there's still some of that stuff going on. I saw some videos where people could not access their bank accounts and their account balances changed. They had a lot of money in the account. It went to zero. Did you see that? Did you see that, right? Listen, there's a lot of ideas I play with when I think about that. I think about the possibility of it was exactly what they said. I said that yesterday. That, yeah, sure, it could be just an IT outage, a patch. Sure, I play with that idea. I also play with the idea that there could have been a cyber incident. That's two. I also play with the idea, and this is separate from a cyber incident, where they injure the system on purpose as a test to collect data and information on the psychology of the people. This is not the first time that this has happened. That's why people have to question that, because the government has come out and admitted that they've done certain things multiples of times. This is easily looked up. So, I mean, look, governments, companies, it's all the same thing. So, so we play with these ideas. We consider all possibilities instead of just being a zombie and going along with the narrative that they're pushing. No, I don't trust anyone outright like that. I don't know why anyone would. You don't know them. They're strangers. Why would you trust what they say? You better go research it. Ask some questions. The minute that strangers start to believe that you trust them absolutely is the minute you become vulnerable. And someone out there is going to want to take advantage of you. So my father always told me to question everything. That's exactly what I do. But anyway, moving past that, because we have an article coming up in the second chapter that touches on that a little bit, goes a little bit deeper into the banking issues. That's important. That's important. And I said yesterday that this keeps happening, right? And some people may not understand it. They haven't been in this bank coin game for as long as we have. They haven't researched what goes on with the actual banks, not the cryptos. The actual banks. They haven't been doing that maybe as long as we have. Remember about not a year and a half ago, about 2 years ago. Remember a bunch of banks, I think a couple of them were in New Zealand. All around the world, these banks had what they called some sort of technical problem. Remember that? And they shut down. They shut down. People couldn't get their money out the ATMs. They couldn't get their money out of the banks. They were outside the banks angry. Do you remember that? That's what I mean when I'm saying, and those videos are still up, by the way. I never took any videos down. Those are still up as proof of what happened then. That's what I mean. I'm like, this is not the first time this has happened. So then if that happened then, and they could see that there's flaws in the system that would shut the entirety of the systems down, why would it happen again? That's not something that's easily remedied. I mean, it just makes me question things. Maybe it's not. Maybe it just happened. Maybe they're just that incompetent. But then it happened another time, a few months later. Something else happened, but it wasn't. It wasn't with the legacy system aspect of it. It happened with the CBDC testing aspect. It happened with, what was the company? The company that the SEC is going after with Ethereum. What's it called? One of the CBDC systems that occurred to, there was a glitch and it shut that bank down. Or it was one or two. You can look it up for yourself. Consensus. Do you remember that? So it happened almost back to back, and now it's happening again. What's going on with all these bank glitches? I'm just asking the questions. What's going on with all these bank glitches? Now, here's what's important. It's not important, really. I mean, it could lead us to certain paths to understand why it's happening. Or why that took place. But the end result remains the same. All paths lead the same way. All of those paths lead to a new system needs to be instituted. And what is that new system? That new system is the new financial system. 100%. All paths lead the same way. So we don't need to debate or haggle over what the actual cause is, even though I'd love to find that out just as a detective, as a researcher. That's just interesting to me. But that new system is the new financial system. Now, one thing a lot of people don't understand is that if you can analyze the psychological standing of the people, you can collect data on the mental strength and conditioning of the people, how they behave when certain stimuli is introduced, that's worth more than gold. It's worth more than gold. It's worth more than Bitcoin. So it's not off the table that plenty of entities, and once again, the governments and the companies are like this, period. That's just the way that it is. Plenty of entities would do something akin to what occurred just to collect that information. And once they have that information, can be sold and used. But information is big money, big value. People will do crazy things for money. So now, let's move on past that. So we're gonna get to a little bit of Bitcoin news. Actually, it's Bitcoin news that, in my opinion, has huge implications for the future of things like XRP. And I say that because of this article here. Now, I didn't see this news. I'm seeing it now. This article is titled "Bitcoin as U.S. Reserve Currency." What? Bitcoin as U.S. Reserve Currency. If they, let's say this is a rumor. Let's say this is actually credible, and so-called inside sources, who no one knows if there's actually inside sources. Is someone making this up just to put that energy out there? Because a lot of people believe that you got to put the energy out there in order to make something manifest. A lot of people are of that belief system. We don't know why this is out there, but Bitcoin as a reserve currency, if that is the case, well, we're about to see XRP get unleashed, right? Absolute clarity. All the banks support it. The government has relationships with them. They have relationships with a few of the bank coins. So they're respected. They're going to be used by banks. As of now, that's how it stands unless something changes. So if Bitcoin would be up as a U.S. reserve currency, then how much greater the position XRP might take? And this is why I said years ago, once again, those videos are still up. Check the dates on them. So you see the dates and then you hear the information I put out. It wouldn't take much for XRP to be designated as a special currency for those who have special rights to use that currency. It wouldn't take much. I'm just playing with the idea since we're throwing this kind of thing out there. If Bitcoin gets positioned in that way, and I just don't see, I don't know about that. I don't know. And I would love it. I would love to make a lot of capital for Bitcoin, 100%, if that indeed did happen. But I don't know about that, given the verbiage coming out of all the sides. They're just going to switch now. They're just going to accept Bitcoin now. Maybe they do. Maybe it's politically advantageous. That's definitely possible. But XRP is in the door. Ripple's on the task force for the government. They're on the I forgot what they call that. My apologies. They're on two of those task force. You know, I've referenced them plenty of times before. They have a great relationship with them, but they would be in position to be, I wouldn't even say a reserve currency. Like, I think that's actually small compared to what. Listen, what do you think is more valuable? Do you think SDRs are more valuable and well positioned, or do you think a reserve currency is? Because a reserve currency can lose its status. SDR never loses its status. It's a special drawing right? So, and once again, in those videos I put out way back then, I did the research, check the dates on them. You can see when it came out. I went over everything, how the IMF began. I went over what a SDR was, a special drawing right was. This is what I do, right? And I showed how it was so similar to Ripple. The IMF began, private institution, wanting to change the financial system. They came out with a special currency, sound like XRP, right? And then it got absorbed. That method got absorbed into the government. SDR has been dominating to this day. I think that XRP stands a chance to being a special currency before Bitcoin becomes a reserve currency. I mean, they're going to worry about this when they have to be concerned with the dollar and fix the dollar. And I mean, do you do both at one time, or do you just focus on the dollar and keeping the dollar propped up? I mean, Saudi Arabia just said, hey, listen, we're going to be operating with other things other than the dollar heavily. I don't know if they're completely backing away from the dollar, but they're definitely taking other currencies for oil now. That's going to change. That's a game changer going into the coming years. It doesn't matter who's in charge. See, that's the thing. Now the United States is at a point where it doesn't matter who's in charge. There's problems that are going to be there no matter who is who's facing it. So they have to be addressed. Now, with this outage, this puts into question everything of systems that can't run if one little thing goes wrong. I always questioned the cloud as well, that whole cloud system, and that was always questionable, in my humble opinion. I never saw the cloud systems and all these patches being sent through and updates being sent through. I never saw them as something that would be long-term because of things like this. And that really reinforced things for me, seeing the people scramble, seeing them panic. They can't get access to, not all of people, not all of them. I saw some articles, saw some videos. People couldn't get access to the capital, such like that. Some people are saying that in their areas it's fixed. That doesn't mean it just because it's fixed in your area, it's fixed everywhere. I don't understand that. But they were saying, some people were saying in those comment sections, like, it's fixed now. In your area, do you work for the company? Do you know? Because this was a global problem. Global problem. And that's the problem with the monkey see, monkey do. Everybody using the same technology, using the same methods, thinking the same way, walking the same way. Well, if that person has a problem, then you're going to have a problem eventually. If you all wear the same shoes and those shoes have an inherent defect, you're all going to suffer. Why don't we wear some different shoes? You get what I'm saying? Why don't we all use some different tech? But they all do the same thing. All the countries do the same thing. And this is what I was trying to explain to people about the financial system. All of these financial systems copied off of each other. They said, oh, well, look what the U.S. is doing. The U.S. is successful. And so they all just begin copying the U.S. So now the U.S. has this big problem. The only difference is the U.S. has been on top, so they can get away with it more. The other countries haven't been on top. They don't have the power the U.S. had. Their currency wasn't as strong as the U.S.'s currency was. Their muscle, as far as moving everybody around and everybody wanting to, bow down to them, they didn't have that either. So when their systems have a problem, like China is having right now as a great example, it's much more difficult for them to deal with. That's why they're looking at every possible extreme to remedy their bank system collapsing. They're like, well, who's the auditor? PwC, you're the auditor? You did this? You caused this here? That's not the auditor's fault. The banks are weak. The banks over there have been collapsing for a long time. It's not the auditor's fault. The auditor is just telling you the truth. That, hey, there's a big problem over here. You should reward them, but they're not rewarding them. They're cutting their pay by 50%. You think that's not going to piss them off? Now, the auditor's supposed to help you out and say, hey, listen, look, there's a problem right here. There's a problem. Go fix it before there's trouble for you. That's helping you. So you're going to punish the people that's helping you. And you think there's not going to be backlash? Those auditors are going to say to themselves, hey, you want to punish us? Okay, we're not going to help you next time. Imagine how many problems are going to go unseen because now there's countries taking harsh actions and issuing punishments against the companies that are supposed to help them. This is crazy. This is madness. But circling back around, all of those countries who followed in the footsteps of the West, and listen, yeah, to some degree, I understand. Like, if you want to get ahead and you see some student or you see some person doing very well, a lot of times people will copy them. It's a part of human nature. Although I will say I don't put myself into human nature. I go by a different thing. Listen, if you want to be different, be different. I'm just going to say it like that. If you want to be different, be different. You don't have to do everything that is instinctual. You can separate yourself from instinct. Just use mind. Use the consciousness that you have, the mind that you have, and walk your own path. By instinct, all of the deer go to drink at the lake. But we have a consciousness. We don't have to drink at the lake. We don't have to be like everyone else. We don't have to be a deer. We don't have to be a sheep. But all of those countries, because they follow in each other's footsteps, and people do this as well, they're going to suffer a similar fate. So all of these globally, there are many, many, many different banks, hospitals, airplanes had to land and such like that. If it can happen now, and here's another thing. Let me pause what I was going to say. Here's another thing. I'm giving you everything today. Please smash the like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about all of this. But they just by doing that and discussing it, they just let every nefarious actor know that there's a problem with the system and the system could be brought down by the institution of one little patch, one little problem, a bit of coding, a mechanism, whatever it is. They just let their enemy, they let all the bad guys know, hey, listen, all the systems could go down if one person could access that. You understand that? I thought about that immediately. What? Now, I know you have to let people know that there's a problem, but man, oh man, couldn't have been done in a different way. You better remedy you better remedy that problem. You better close up that loophole. You better make sure that no one else can do what was just done, because I guarantee you they're working on it. Period. That's just how it goes. We can't always talk about the good and not also talk about the bad and be balanced. No, everything must reach a homeostasis. This is what people don't understand. I don't lean that much this way. I don't lean that much that way. I'm not going to try to look too much into what's bad, and I'm not going to look too much into what's good. I'm going to stay nice and balanced and try to understand the totality of something. The totality of something. Most people only see one side. They see one tree in front of them. They can't see the forest beyond the tree. Not me. I back up a little bit. I want to see all the trees. I'm not intimidated of it. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared of it. Show me all the trees. Show me the big picture. Show me the great valleys below that I could fall in, and show me the great heights I could fly to. I'm perfectly fine with that. But now let's move on here. We're going to move on here. All right. I don't know how long this video is going to be today. I'm flowing. Did you see the members only video from yesterday? By the way, people, join the members only section. I've been putting out video after video. These have been some very potent, very good videos, very good information, in my humble opinion. Join button is down below. Just get the entry level. Join button is down below, unless you want to support more. Sometimes it's down below the video, and sometimes it's in the description box. I don't know where YouTube is going to put it. I'm not in control of YouTube. I'm not. Some people believe that. They believe we're in charge of YouTube. We have more power than we actually do, as people just simply uploading to this website. We don't control the join button. We don't control the ads. We don't control YouTube controls a lot. You think a company making lots of money is going to allow us to have that much power? Not really. No. So now, anyway, just saying. So now this article here, this is where it touches a little bit on what happened the other day. It says JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. It says customers report cascade of failures as banks hammered by massive computer outage. Now, another important aspect to this, and this is what I was saying the other day, this is going to hit customer faith greatly, for lack of a better word. What do they call that? Customer faith, belief in the banks. I forgot what the sentiment is going to plummet. I already saw it. I saw a myriad of videos where people are saying, hey, listen, as soon as I can get my money, I'm moving it out of the bank. I saw people in the comment section telling others, hey, listen, that's why I have my stuff in cash. I don't even use the bank. They just got cash just around your house. You better have that click clack. You better what? So, but this is what people are saying. I'm just going to I just have my stuff in cash. I don't even use banks. You should keep your stuff in cash. Like, I don't know about that. That sounds like a setup to me. You're just telling people to keep cash. Really? I wouldn't trust somebody like that. I'm telling you right now, you better have that click clack. Oh man. I'm trying to think of that. There was a Biggie Small song. What was the one? What you think all of is for? What was that? What are those lyrics? I can't remember, folks. I can't remember. You know what's crazy when I can't remember like the basic stuff, but all the technical details and stuff I can remember to speak on. But anyway, it says hammered by massive computer outage. This is what they say. Another thing, I'm not one of those people who just take someone's word unless I absolutely trust you. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's only a handful of people I absolutely trust that have shown me loyalty throughout my life. But other than that, I'm going to question you. So just because someone says something, oh, the company said it, oh, the government said it. So what does that mean to me? That means I'm supposed to listen to them. I'm supposed to just obey. I'm supposed to just bow down and say, yes, their word, my leader, it is true. No, not at all. Not at all. If you're not me, or you're not one of those handful of people, I'm going to question you. Doesn't mean I have to believe what you say because you said it. That's a dangerous mind state. They could tell people anything. Some people just do it. It says U.S. banks are scrambling to recover from a massive computer outage that's disrupting financial transactions around the world. Listen, it's so interesting how they've been looking into decentralization, right? Looking into providing wallets where the customers can custody their own wallets. But I guarantee you, even with those self-custody wallets, guarantee you're going to still pay a fee. They're going to dominate. They're going to take over the bank coins. I promise you. I can't promise you anything, right? I don't promise. I take it back. Somebody out there's like, no take backsies. Remember that when we were little in the early, remember that way back when? No take. You're like, I'm taking it back. I take it back. And somebody would say, no take backsies. Like, you were like, you know about that? Who taught you? Who taught you that? Somebody out there said that. No take backs. No, I take it back. I can't promise anything. I don't work for these companies. I don't know these people. But I feel like they're going to take over the bank coins. They're going to dominate. They're going to be issuing their self-custody wallets, and the customers don't know anything. They don't know about DeFi like that. They're not familiar with crypto like we are, and they'll charge them fees. The banks are going to make money. I promise you. Just like with lending. Like now you can do lending, let's say like through Flare. Flare, hey, I'm looking for some updates from you, Flare. But like how they have like you can lend your Bitcoin, you can lend your XRP out on Flare. At least that's going to be coming up with F assets, right? And I don't think is there any charge with that or something like that? What I'm saying is when the banks get it, there definitely will be a charge. They're going to let you lend. They're going to let you lend. They're going to be lending your stuff as well. Depends on which avenue you want to take. I guarantee you they're going. Well, I can't say guarantee. Why do I keep saying stuff like that today? But I believe that they will have those avenues available because it's just so many ways for them to make money. Why would they not? It's highly possible, but there will be heavy fees on that. Heavy fees on that. But yeah, they're looking into DeFi and they're looking into ways to capitalize on that idea because they know people like that. And as people are turning away from banks, they want to keep you while not keeping you at the same time. Make you do all the work while they make all the money. We have already seen this before. Haven't you seen that with digital streams and music and movies? Like, yeah, you're paying the same amount you pay for almost a DVD. Old DVDs used to go for like $6. Old movies now go for like $3 to $4 to $5 to $6, depending on which movie it is, right? Digital. But here's the difference. DVD, you owned it. Digital, you don't. And people have been seeing that with a lot of these digital companies going under, bellying up, going out of business, and they delete your movies. They kept your money. They got your money. You didn't get anything. You just got to watch. But they kept your money. But you got nothing. See, they're letting you do all the work, take all the risk. They make all the money. That's what I see in the future coming. And these types of things here lend to that. It's pushing everything towards the new financial system, period. What's the remedy for this? You think they're going to continue with this system? Listen, the only thing I can see is they go a little bit further with this, maybe a few years more, and they're moving to bigger, better systems. Bigger and better things, which comes with the new financial system. There's a lot of mechanisms, there's a lot of combinations that haven't even come out yet because there's not regulatory clarity. I don't know if people get that yet. Not everything has been done just yet because it's not time. It hasn't been time. It says customers at JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo are reporting major ongoing outages. That's what I'm saying. Well, some areas they said, this is what the people say. I don't know if it's true or not. They say that they fix things in certain areas. In other areas, there's still a little bit of problems. You got to do your own research on that. It says, according to the network tracking service down detector. All right, let's move on from there. Did I get Bitcoin? That was sort of Bitcoin news. Then we got this little bit of bank news, still bank coin related. We have an XRP article here. This article is titled $305 XRP target. I've never seen that number before. 305. I've heard a lot of different big numbers, not 305. Here's the projected timeline. There's no way for anyone to know if it did go that high. And I'm not saying that it will. You make up your own mind about it. We are adults here, right? But there's no way for anyone to know if it's going to go this high or when it's going to go this high. You have to make that decision on your own. Like, you know. There's something more I want to say, but I'll hold back from that. Market analysts disagree about the timeline for XRP to attain $305 value. Once again, I'm going to say it. Some people don't even need $305. They don't need $305 to see it crazy for it to go where they want to go. It doesn't even have to go that high at this point. It says, with some believing next year and others suggesting next decade, although they'll take it, depending on how long people want to hold it for. That's the real question. Everyone talks about the price, but the real question is, how long do people actually want to hold XRP? What's in you? What's in your heart? How far are you willing to go? Is this something that you're just, it's temporary? Is this something that it has already been long-term? What's long-term to you? So for some people, long-term is 3 years. Some people long-term a little bit longer than that. Some people are going to hand XRP down to whoever in their family. Like, they really believe in generational wealth. And if it goes there, they're going to hand it down to someone else. And if it doesn't happen, they still believe their belief didn't change. They'll hand it down to someone else. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's subjective. All of this is subjective. It says XRP recently stunned the crypto market. It didn't stun me at all by defying its unusual passive price movements to emerge among the top performers over the weekend. Specifically, XRP hit 56 cents. It's not a surprise to me. Not at all. Not even close. Marking an 18.8% gain from the intraday low of 47 cents, considering that the asset hit the bottom of 39 cents, which was, you could see that coming from a mile away. Bitcoin goes down, everything's going to go down. I promise. That's the way that it always goes. But let's go to this 305 here. XRP reaching $305. Why that price in particular? It says early this month, analyst Heiken Ashi proposed a massive 710x price surge for XRP to 305. I'll take $2 right now. Not take it like as if it go to $2. Then I sell my XRP. I don't play with the bank coins. I have my numbers in mind. I don't play with XRP, XLM, Algorand. Listen, I don't even touch them. They're somewhere. Nice and safe. I just leave them there. I'm not taking any chances because I know what can happen out here. It's dangerous out here. I don't play with them. I don't move them. That's just my way. They're just sitting collecting dust until it's time. It says here, so anyway. Surge, yeah, but why 305? Citing a bullish signal on the monthly time frame. Ashley believes the cryptocurrency's candlestick patterns resemble historical trends that preceded significant price pumps. All right, so then we've seen this before. This individual references 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017, which led to massive gains. Ashley forecasts a multi-stage rally. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Now, talk to me about the multi-stage. That's what I'm talking about. I like that. I like that talk. With XRP potentially reaching $1.20, 100% possible. Yeah, give me $1.20. I'm going to see it because I'm checking things off my list as it goes, and I'm watching a lot. I'm watching the minds of the people. I'm reading a lot of comments at that time. A lot, not on here on my videos, that as well, because people are not going to put a whole lot in the videos. They're not. It just doesn't happen. But on websites, oh, they talk. And I'm watching the mind, the mentalities of the people. I'm collecting information at that time. That's exactly what I'm doing. $2, so $1.20, then to $2. Definitely possible. And that can happen very quickly. Although, that, in my opinion, if it goes there, there's a lot of volatility. You better be ready. You better be mentally tough because it go to 120 and you're looking at some crazy, not financial advice. Nothing in this video is financial advice at all. I'm just a researcher, reporter. Let me do my thing. Now, it goes to $1.20 and people are looking at some crazy amounts because they're sitting on a lot of XRP and they're like, oh man, it's so good. And then it plummets and then it just shatters your mind. I've seen people get their minds shattered, their hearts ripped out, their hearts broken, watching prices of things just plummet and go down when it was up, right? And you don't know. And it's that stress of, will it go back up? You know, even though it probably more than likely will with something like this, if the bull run pops off and then you have XRP being completely clear of all court cases, Ripple being clear of court cases, then sky's the limit. You know, you never know. It could be very, very positive, but better be ready. A lot of volatility there. $2, 100% is possible. $6. Ooh, now we start. Now we're starting to look really, really, really good. $6 also, in my opinion, very, very possible. Very, especially with a lot of bank announcements coming out, utility kicking in, bull run popping up. That's three major catalysts right there. So I think that's possible. I don't need to go higher than that. Those numbers are there. He talks about $16 and then, of course, the 305. I don't even need to go there. I'm going to go step by step. Boom, 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 boom. If it gets there, we'll get there. Right? We'll get there. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with this. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.